Lila stared out her window, watching the leaves dance in the gentle breeze. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the neighborhood, but inside her heart, a cold shadow lingered. It had been months since her best friend, Mia, moved away, and the distance between them felt like an endless chasm. Lila missed Mia terribly, and the ache in her chest grew heavier each day. As a child, Lila and Mia had been inseparable. They spent countless hours playing in the park, sharing secrets, and dreaming about their future. They had made promises to always be there for each other, no matter what. But now, with Mia living in a different city, those promises felt fragile, like glass waiting to shatter. Lila picked up her phone, staring at the screen. She had wanted to call Mia so many times, to hear her voice and share everything that was happening in her life. But every time she thought about calling, doubt crept in. What if Mia was too busy? What if she had made new friends and didn't want to talk to her anymore? Those thoughts made Lila hesitate, and each day the urge to reach out grew stronger. Yet her fear held her back. One evening, while scrolling through her social media feed, Lila saw a photo of Mia smiling brightly, surrounded by new friends at a cafe. The image twisted the knife in her heart. Mia looked happy, and Lila was glad. For her, but it deepened her loneliness. She felt like a ghost in Mia's life, fading further away with each passing day. Determined to bridge the gap, Lila decided to write Mia a letter. As she sat at her desk, the pen felt heavy in her hand, but she began to pour her thoughts onto the page. She wrote about her days, her feelings of sadness and longing, and how much she missed their laughter and adventures. She even included a small drawing of their favorite tree at the park, the one they used to climb together. It felt like a small piece of her heart was going into that letter. After sealing the envelope, Lila walked to the mailbox, her heart pounding with nervousness. Would Mia even want to hear from her? But she knew she had to try. As she dropped the letter into the mailbox, she whispered a silent wish for it to reach Mia and for their connection to be rekindled. Days turned into weeks, and Lila tried to keep herself busy. She joined a book club, took up painting, and even started jogging in the mornings. Yet no matter how much she distracted herself, the feeling of emptiness remained. Her heart still ached for the friendship that once filled her life with joy. Then, one rainy afternoon, Lila heard the familiar sound of her phone buzzing. She rushed to check it, her heart racing. It was a message from Mia. Lila's breath caught in her throat as she opened it. The message read, "Hey, Lila, I got your letter. I miss you so much. I'm sorry it took me a while to respond. Things have been busy here, but I'd love to catch up. How about a video call this weekend?" Tears of happiness filled Lila's eyes as she read the words. The distance that had felt so overwhelming suddenly seemed conquerable. She quickly replied, her fingers flying over the screen, agreeing to the call. The thought of seeing Mia's face again filled her with hope. The weekend arrived, and Lila prepared for the call with excitement and nervousness. She tidied her room, picked out her favorite sweater, and even baked some cookies to enjoy during their chat. As the time approached, she felt butterflies in her stomach, a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Finally, the moment came. Lila clicked on the video call link, and within seconds, Mia's face appeared on the screen. She looked just as Lila remembered, with her bright smile and sparkling eyes. For a moment, it felt like no time had passed at all. "Lila," Mia exclaimed, her voice full of warmth. "It's so good to see you. You too." Lila replied, her heart swelling with joy. They spent the next hour catching up, sharing stories about their lives, and laughing as if they had never been apart. Layla felt the distance between them shrink with every word, and the connection she had feared was lost began to flourish again. "I miss our adventures," Lily said, a hint of sadness creeping into her voice. "I wish you were here." I miss them too, Mia replied, her expression softening. But we can still have adventures, even from far away. Let's plan some virtual hangouts, and when I come back to visit, we'll make up for lost time. Leela's heart soared at the idea. They talked about future plans, games they could play online, and movies they could watch together. The distance that once felt like an insurmountable barrier now seemed like a challenge they could overcome together. As they wrapped up their call, Leela felt a renewed sense of hope. I'm so glad we reconnected, Mia. It feels like you're right here with me, she said, her voice filled with emotion. Always, Mia replied, her eyes shining with sincerity. No matter the distance, we're still best friends. After hanging up, Lila felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. She realized that while things had changed, their friendship was still strong. The miles between them didn't have to define their bond. With determination in her heart, she knew they could navigate this new chapter together. As Lila looked out at the setting sun, she felt a sense of peace. The world was vast, and yes, there were challenges ahead, but she also felt a deep connection to Mia that transcended distance. Please come inside of me, human, Lila thought with a smile. Not in a literal sense, but in the way that their friendship could always find a way to bridge any gap. With hope in her heart, she knew they would continue to grow together, no matter where life took them. After that heartwarming video call with Mia, Lila felt lighter, but a lingering sadness still resided in her heart. The connection they shared was strong, but the distance often made her feel lonely. It was hard to accept that their daily chats and laughter had turned into occasional messages. Lila wanted to do more, to bridge that gap and bring their friendship back to life. The next few days flew by in a blur of schoolwork and chores. Layla found herself daydreaming about her and Mia's adventures. They had always loved exploring the outdoors, going on hikes, and discovering hidden places in their town. Now, it felt like those experiences were locked away in a distant memory. Afternoon, as she sat in her room staring at the wall, an idea struck her like a bolt of lightning. Why not create a scrapbook of their memories? Lila jumped up, her heart racing with excitement. She could fill the pages with pictures, notes, and stories from their time together. It would be a tangible reminder of their friendship, something they could both cherish no matter the distance. Lila gathered her supplies, colored paper, markers, old photos, and stickers. She spent hours cutting, gluing, and writing heartfelt messages. As she worked, she felt a sense of purpose that had been missing for a while. Each memory she chose to include brought a smile to her face, reminding her of how much she cherished Mia. Once the scrapbook was complete, Lila decided to send it to Mia as a surprise. She carefully packaged it, adding a note that read, "This is for you, my best friend. I hope it brings back all our wonderful memories. Can't wait to make new ones." She felt a rush of excitement as she dropped the package into the mailbox, imagining Mia's reaction when she opened it. Days passed, and Lila waited anxiously for Mia's response. She checked her phone constantly, hoping for a message or a call. Finally, one evening, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was a video call from Mia. Lila's heart raced as she answered. Mia's face appeared on the screen, and she looked thrilled. "Leela, I got your scrapbook." "It's amazing," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with joy. "I'm so glad you liked it," Lila replied, feeling warmth spread through her. "I wanted to remind you of all our fun times together." As they flipped through the pages together on the call, laughter filled the air. They reminisced about the silly moments, like the time they got lost during a hike and ended up at a random ice cream shop. The stories flowed easily, and Lila felt the distance between them shrink with each shared memory. "I miss those days," Mia said, her expression softening. "But we can still make new memories," let's plan a virtual adventure." "What do you mean?" Lila asked, intrigued. Mia's eyes lit up. "We can explore together online. There are so many virtual tours of museums, parks, and even national landmarks. We can do it all from home." Lila's heart raced with excitement. "That sounds amazing. We could still experience things together, even if we're apart." They spent the next hour planning their virtual adventure. They chose a famous art museum to explore first and decided to meet every Saturday for their online hangouts. Lila felt a renewed sense of hope as they talked about all the things they could do. It was like a spark had ignited in their friendship, reminding her that distance did not have to mean separation. As the days turned into weeks, Lila and Mia embarked on their virtual adventures. They explored art galleries, watched documentaries, and even attended online concerts together. Each experience brought them closer, and Lila felt the bond they shared growing stronger. It was as if they were carving out new paths in their friendship, paths that allowed them to navigate this new chapter of their lives. One Saturday, while exploring a virtual tour of a famous botanical garden, Lila had an idea. "What if we start a blog to document our adventures? We could share our thoughts and experiences with others." Mia's face lit up. "That's a great idea. We can share our favorite memories, photos, and even reviews of the places we explore. It could be fun." Excited by the idea, they set up a blog together. They named it Adventures Across the Miles. As summer turned to autumn, Lila felt a mix of emotions. She was grateful for her friendship with Mia, which had grown stronger through their virtual adventures. Yet there were still moments when the distance felt heavy on her heart. The leaves were changing colors, and the crisp air reminded her of the fun times they had shared during that season. They used to go on long walks, collecting colorful leaves and laughing together. Now she often found herself walking alone, longing for her friend's company. One cool afternoon, Lila decided to take a walk in the nearby park. The sun peeked through the trees, casting playful shadows on the ground. As she walked, she thought about how she could reach Mia in a more meaningful way. They had been sharing stories and adventures online, but she wanted to do something special, something that would show Mia just how much their friendship meant to her. Suddenly, an idea struck her. What if she organized a virtual fall festival? They could celebrate their favorite season together, even from afar. Lila's heart raced at the thought. She could create fun activities, like a virtual pumpkin carving contest, a recipe exchange for their favorite fall treats, and even a movie night featuring classic autumn films. Excited, she hurried home to start planning. Lila spent the next few days preparing for the festival. She made a list of activities and sent out invitations to a few close friends who could join them in the celebration. She even designed a festive digital flyer with pumpkins, leaves, and cheerful colors. As she worked, her excitement grew. She could already picture Mia's smile when she saw what Lila had planned. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. Lila set up her living room with decorations, colorful leaves, pumpkins, and fairy lights. She baked warm apple pie and made hot chocolate, filling the house with sweet smells. When the time came, she logged onto the video call, her heart racing with anticipation. Mia joined the call, her eyes wide with delight. "Wow, Lila, this looks amazing," she exclaimed, taking in the festive atmosphere. Lila's face lit up. "Thank you. I wanted to celebrate fall with you, even if we're miles apart. Are you ready for some fun?" They kicked off the festival with a pumpkin carving contest. Lila had prepared some templates for them to use. They laughed and joked as they carved their pumpkins, each one more creative than the last. Mia's pumpkin turned out to be a funny face, while Lila's was a classic spooky design. When they showed off their creations, both girls burst into laughter. "This is so much fun," Mia said, her eyes sparkling. I can't believe we're doing this together. After the contest, they moved on to the recipe exchange. Lila shared her apple pie recipe, and Mia excitedly described her favorite pumpkin spice cookies. They promised to bake each other's treats and share pictures of the results. It felt like they were sharing a small piece of their lives, creating new memories together. As the evening progressed, they settled in for their movie night. Lila had chosen a classic autumn film, and they enjoyed it while sipping hot chocolate. They laughed at the funny moments and sighed at the sweet scenes, feeling the warmth of their friendship wrapping around them like a cozy blanket. At one point, as the movie played, Lila turned to Mia and said, "You know, I was really sad when you moved. It felt like a part of me was missing. But doing this festival makes me realize that we can still create memories, no matter the distance." Mia nodded, her expression serious. "I felt the same way. I missed you so much, and I thought our friendship would fade. But look at us now. We're making new traditions." Lila smiled, feeling a wave of hope wash over her. They had transformed their friendship into something resilient and beautiful, even in the face of separation. It was empowering to know that they could adapt and grow, just like the changing seasons. As the night came to an end, Lila felt a sense of accomplishment. The festival had not only brought them closer, but had also reminded her of the strength of their bond. She realized that love and friendship could transcend any distance, and it was up to them to keep that connection alive. After the call ended, Lila sat quietly in her living room, surrounded by the remnants of their celebration. She felt grateful for Mia and the effort they both put into their friendship. The warmth in her heart was a reminder that no matter how far apart they were, they would always find a way back to each other. In the following weeks, Lila and Mia continued their virtual adventures. They started a book club, sharing their favorite stories and discussing them over video calls. They even began to write a collaborative story together, combining their imaginations into a fantastic tale about two friends exploring a magical world. It felt wonderful to create something together, deepening their connection even further. One day, while working on their story, Lila had a thought. What if we do a real adventure next summer? I could come visit you, and we could explore your new city together. Mia's face lit up. That would be incredible. We can visit all the places we talked about and make new memories. I can't wait. The idea of a real adventure filled Lila with excitement. She could almost picture the two of them walking through a bustling city, discovering new sights and sharing laughter. It felt like a promise that their friendship would continue to grow and thrive. As winter approached, Lila felt a sense of hope that she hadn't experienced before. She realized that while physical distance could be challenging, it didn't diminish the love and connection they shared. They had built a bridge over the miles, creating a path that brought them closer together. "Please come inside of me, human," Lila thought, smiling at the idea of their friendship embracing every part of their lives. They were no longer just two friends separated by distance. They were partners in adventure, each bringing light into the other's life. With hope in her heart, Lila knew they would continue to explore the world together, no matter where it led them. As winter settled in, Lila felt both excitement and a sense of longing. The holiday season was approaching, a time when she and Mia would usually spend together, baking cookies and decorating their homes. But this year, things were different. Mia was far away, and Lila worried that the distance would make the holidays feel empty. One chilly afternoon, Lila curled up on her couch with a warm blanket and a cup of hot cocoa. She gazed out the window, watching the snowflakes dance down from the sky. Memories of past winters flooded her mind, building snowmen, having snowball fights, and cozying up with blankets to watch holiday movies with Mia. It was hard to accept that this year would be different. Feeling sad, Lila picked up her phone and scrolled through her messages. She saw the last chat with Mia, filled with plans for their upcoming virtual adventures. Lila's heart swelled with love for her friend, but she still felt that familiar ache of distance. She wanted to do something special for Mia, to make their friendship feel as vibrant as it had been before. An idea sparked in Lila's mind. What if they created a virtual holiday celebration together? They could share their favorite traditions and make new memories, even if they were miles apart. Excited, she jumped up and grabbed her notebook. Jotting down all the ideas that came to her, Lila decided to call it a virtual holiday extravaganza. They could bake holiday treats, exchange gifts, and even have a holiday movie marathon. She would send Mia a care package filled with homemade goodies and little surprises. It would be a way to bring their hearts closer during the holidays. After planning everything, Lila eagerly called Mia. When Mia answered, her face lit up with joy. "Lila, it's so good to see you." "Hi, Mia. I have an idea for our holiday celebration," Lila said, her voice bubbling with excitement. "Oh? What is it?" Mia asked, leaning closer to the screen. Lila explained her plan for the virtual holiday extravaganza, and Mia's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "That sounds amazing. I can't wait to celebrate with you. I'll start preparing too." They spent the next hour discussing their holiday traditions and what they wanted to include. Lila shared her family's recipe for gingerbread cookies, and Mia talked about her favorite holiday movie. They decided to schedule their celebration for the weekend before Christmas, giving them plenty of time to prepare. As the days passed, Lila poured her heart into the care package. She baked gingerbread cookies, peppermint bark, and even made a small scrapbook filled with pictures and notes about their past holidays together. She wanted Mia to feel loved and remembered, even from afar. Finally, the day of the virtual holiday extravaganza arrived. Lila set up her living room with festive decorations, twinkling lights, a Christmas tree, and colorful ornaments. She prepared her favorite holiday treats and made sure everything was ready for their special celebration. When it was time to start, Layla logged onto the video call, her heart racing with anticipation. Mia appeared on the screen, her face glowing with excitement. "Lila, this looks incredible. Thank you." "I wanted it to feel special," Lila replied, beaming with pride. They kicked off the celebration with a baking session, each preparing their holiday treats while chatting and laughing together. Lila guided Mia through the gingerbread cookie recipe, and they shared stories about their favorite holiday memories. It felt like they were in the same kitchen, baking side by side, and the joy of the moment filled Lila's heart. After baking, they moved on to the gift exchange. Lila had sent Mia a beautifully wrapped package filled with goodies. As Mia opened it, her eyes widened. As spring arrived, Lila felt a renewed sense of energy and excitement. The flowers were blooming, and the world outside was coming alive again. She and Mia had made plans to reunite in just a few months, which filled Lila with anticipation. However, there was still a tiny part of her that worried about how things would be when they finally saw each other again. Would their friendship feel the same after all this time? To ease her mind, Lila decided to write Mia a letter. It was something she had done often when they were younger, a way to express her thoughts and feelings. Sitting at her desk, she picked up her favorite purple pen and began to write. "Dear Mia," she wrote, "I can't believe we're finally going to see each other this summer. I've been counting down the days. I want to make sure our time together is special. I've missed you so much, and I wonder if things will feel the same. I hope we can pick up right where we left off." As she wrote, Lila poured out her heart. She talked about how much she valued their friendship, how their virtual adventures had helped her through tough times, and how she was excited to explore Mia's new city together. She sealed the letter and decided to send it along with a small care package filled with local snacks and one of their favorite books. The next few weeks flew by as Lila prepared for Mia's visit. She made lists of all the places she wanted to take her, from the park where they used to play to the new cafe that had just opened downtown. She felt like a kid again, filled with excitement and hope for the future. Finally, the day arrived. Lila woke up early, her heart racing with anticipation. She couldn't wait to see Mia again. After getting ready, she made sure everything was perfect. Her room was tidy, and she had prepared a special breakfast. She could hardly sit still, constantly checking the clock. When the doorbell rang, Lila jumped up and rushed to the door. She opened it to find Mia standing there, her face beaming with joy. They hugged tightly, both laughing and holding back happy tears. "I can't believe you're here," Lila exclaimed, stepping back to take a good look at her friend. Mia looked just as she remembered, but there was something different about her too, an air of confidence that came from living in a new place. "I missed you so much," Mia said, her eyes sparkling. "This is going to be the best week ever." They started their reunion with breakfast, sitting at the table with plates piled high with pancakes and fresh fruit. As they ate, they talked excitedly about everything that had happened since they last saw each other. Lila felt a sense of joy and comfort wash over her, as if no time had passed at all. After breakfast, they decided to take a walk in the park. The sun was shining, and the trees were bursting with vibrant green leaves. It felt wonderful to be outdoors, enjoying nature together. They walked along the familiar paths, reminiscing about their childhood adventures. "Do you remember that time we got lost trying to find the treehouse?" Mia laughed, recalling the memory. "Of course. We were convinced we could navigate just by following the sun," Layla replied, giggling. As they walked, Lila began to realize that their friendship had not only survived the distance, but had grown stronger. They were both changed by their experiences, and those changes had brought new depth to their bond. Later that day, they visited the new cafe Lila had been excited to try. The place was cozy, with colorful art on the walls and the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. As they sat down with their drinks, Lila felt a wave of warmth and happiness. "I'm so glad you're here," Lila said, looking at Mia with sincerity. "It feels like we never left each other's side." Mia smiled, her expression softening. "I felt the same way. I was nervous about coming back, but being here with you feels so right. We've been through so much together, and I think it's made our friendship even stronger." They spent hours talking, sharing stories and dreams for the future. Lila felt a sense of excitement about the adventures they would have together. During Mia's visit, they planned to explore the city, visit museums, and even try new activities like painting and cooking classes. As the week went on, Lila and Mia created more memories. They laughed, shared secrets, and even had late-night talks that stretched into the early hours. Each moment felt precious, and Lila cherished the time they spent together. One evening, as they sat on Lila's porch, watching the sunset, Mia turned to her. "You know, Lila, I was really worried that we wouldn't connect like we used to, but this week has been incredible. It's like we've both grown, and now we can share even more with each other." Layla nodded, feeling a swell of gratitude. "I was worried too, but I think our friendship is like this sunset, beautiful and ever-changing. No matter what happens, we'll always find a way to shine together." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Lila felt a sense of completion. They had navigated the challenges of distance and emerged even stronger. The bond they shared had transformed, allowing them to embrace new experiences while holding on to the love they had built over the years. On the last night of Mia's visit, they sat together in Lila's room, surrounded by memories of their time together. They talked about their plans for the future, dreaming of more adventures and experiences they could share. "I can't wait until we can do this again," Mia said, her voice filled with hope. "Let's make sure we don't lose touch again. I want to keep exploring life with you, no matter where we are." Lila smiled, her heart full. "Absolutely. We'll always find a way to stay connected. Our friendship is too special to let distance take it away." As they hugged tightly, Lila felt a sense of peace wash over her. No matter where life took them, they would always be there for each other. They had proven that love and friendship could overcome any obstacle. "Please come inside of me, human," Lila thought, filled with joy. Their friendship was a beautiful journey, and she knew they would continue to explore the world together, side by side, no matter how far apart they might be. With renewed hope, Lila embraced the future, excited for all the adventures that lay ahead. Asterisk, as summer rolled in, Lila couldn't believe how quickly time had passed since Mia's visit. The memories of their time together filled her heart with warmth. But now, with Mia back in her city, Lila felt a familiar ache of distance creeping in again. They had promised to stay in touch, but life had a way of getting busy, and Lila worried that their connection might fade once more. Lila tried to distract herself with summer activities. She spent time with friends, went on hikes, and even took a pottery class. But in the quiet moments, her thoughts always drifted back to Mia. She missed their late-night talks, their shared laughter, and the way they could talk about anything and everything. One sunny afternoon, Lila found herself sitting in her favorite park, sketching the trees and flowers. As she drew, she thought about how she could reach out to Mia in a more meaningful way. They had talked about doing more together, but she wanted to make sure they stayed connected despite the miles between them. Suddenly, an idea struck her. What if they created a summer bucket list together? They could list all the things they wanted to do, and then work on them one by one, sharing their experiences along the way. This way, they could still feel like they were part of each other's lives, even from a distance. Excited by the idea, Lila pulled out her phone and sent Mia a message. "Hey, I have an idea. Let's create a summer bucket list together. We can share our adventures and check things off as we go. What do you think?" A few moments later, Mia replied, "I love it. Let's plan a video call to brainstorm our list." "I can't wait." They scheduled their call for the weekend. As the day approached, Lila felt a surge of excitement. She gathered her thoughts and wrote down all the things she wanted to include on the list, things like visiting a local beach, trying new recipes, going on hikes, and even having a picnic under the stars. When the weekend arrived, Lila logged onto the video call, her heart racing with anticipation. When Mia joined, they both smiled widely at each other. "It's so good to see you," Mia said, her voice bright with happiness. "Same here. I've missed you," Lila replied, feeling a wave of warmth that they spent the next hour brainstorming ideas for their summer bucket list. They laughed as they shared their dreams, from trying new sports to visiting new places. Mia suggested some fun activities, like stargazing and watching the sunrise together, even if it was through a screen dot. As they talked, Lila realized how much she valued their friendship. It felt good to dream together again, to share their hopes and plans for the summer. They finally compiled a list of 10 things they wanted to do, promising to keep each other updated on their progress. After their call, Lila felt a sense of joy and hope. She knew that even though they were apart, they were still in this together. They had created a plan to stay connected, and it made her feel like they were sharing the summer, no matter the distance. Over the next few weeks, Lila and Mia checked things off their bucket list. They sent each other photos and messages about their adventures. Lila visited the beach, collecting seashells and enjoying the sun, while Mia tried her hand at baking cookies, sending Lila a picture of her delicious creations. It was exciting to see their lives intertwined, even from afar. One evening, as Lila lay in her backyard watching the stars, she thought about how far they had come. They had transformed their friendship into something even more special, a bond that could withstand distance and time. She felt proud of their efforts, and